What's up, my dudes? Valk here, and today I'm going to be tackling the issue. The thing everyone cares about. You can look at the team and see what I'm going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about Taser Ball, Taser Raiden Shogun. We are going to be talking about how Raiden Shogun does not work with Bido. Let me explain why Raiden Shogun doesn't work with Bido real quick. If you don't know why, if you look at Raiden Shogun's ult, you go down and you look at it. While her ult is active, her normal charge and plunging attack damage will be considered elemental burst damage. And then we go to Bido, we look at Bido, we can see when normal charge attacks hit, they create lightning discharge. So she does not work with Bido's ult. Can't say I'm surprised considering the wording, because hit means you have to deal normal or charge attack damage. Your normal and charge attacks have to deal damage, or they just have to hit something. It's very literal in how it's stated. This game is like that a lot of ways. They don't really. It's not that they're inconsistent, which they kind of are. It's more so that it's just very literal in the way things work. So I'm going to be running this team. I'm going to be showing you how it works. I haven't done Abyss yet, so I can't show you an Abyss. So the only way we can do this is in Valley of Remembrance. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to be showcasing this team and the way I think they work, and it might not work for everybody, but everybody wants to run her with Taser, so I'm going to show you how, if I was you, I would run her with Taser. I did a couple little practice runs with this team to make sure I can get some decent rotations going, and hopefully I don't mess things up because I'm talking while I'm doing this, but you'll get the idea. And then I'll talk about the entire situation here in a second. So we're going to do this. We're going to go Sing Show. We're going to bop bop. We're going to bop bop. And then we're going to Bido. And then we're going to do this. And now we're going to go to Child. And now we're just going to bop everything very, very quickly. Because this is how Taser works. Yeah, this is essentially how this comp works, right? Just big PP damage over and over and over. And now that Bido's ult's on cooldown, we go ahead and we do this with Ball, or Raiden Shogun, and we pick up the slack for all the time that's missing. That's how I would run this team. Because look, if you look, Child skills still on cooldown, their ult's just not coming off cooldown, and you would have been just running out of Raiden Shogun, so you could run through their ults real quick again, reapply Raiden Shogun's E. You would have time to go ahead and do everything. That's how I would run this team, if this is how you're running it. If you're not running Child, if you're running someone else, then I don't know exactly how you run Taser then in that sense, because I can't imagine Taser without Child, because the main reason Child and Bido work so well together is because Child has really, really fast normal attack speed, some of the fastest in the game, and he's able to apply Bido's little ult dragons and have them bounce around everything, as well as superconduct, and it makes a very big PP damage going everywhere. There's just lots of procs of damage going freaking everywhere. So now, where do I stand? Where do I stand during Zhongli 2.0 situation? Essentially, is what we have here. I don't think it's an issue. Her working with Bido is such a non-factor, because I wouldn't want, even if she worked with Bido, I wouldn't want to use her ult during Bido's ult anyways. Her ult has about 13-second cooldown, because it's 20-second cooldown, but it starts ticking the second you activate the cooldown, right? And Bido's ult has about a 20-second cooldown, so that means you're going to be waiting regardless during both those cooldowns for her to come back to live. You're going to be waiting for her to come back. So that's that situation. I don't think even if it did work, you would want to use it together. It doesn't work. It works with Sing Cho ult. I was wrong on my other video. The other video I made at like 2 in the morning after 3+ hours of grinding. I made that video, so hopefully you guys understand me on that one. The only ones it doesn't work with is like Skyward Spine passive with a vacuum blade. Anything that says normals need to hit, because it's not normal damage, it's ult damage whenever her ult is active. So, I guess the best analogy I can use is like, imagine you have a sword that is sheathed. You swing the sword that is sheathed and you deal damage. That would be normal damage. Now you take the sword, you take the sheath off, you're still swinging the sword the exact same way, but the damage you're dealing is completely different, so it's not the same. Correct? Does that make sense? Hopefully that analogy makes sense for people. So, essentially, that's where I stand on the Bido situation. I don't really think it's an issue. I don't really think anything like that. Now, I want to talk about the whole she is weak thing. If you guys go back, I made a video, I don't know, about a week or so ago, a week and a half ago, saying Raiden Shogun will not be free to play friendly. And what did I mean by that? I mean she is very dependent on really good artifacts. She is very dependent on having a good weapon. She is very dependent on a bunch of different things. I've been saying it for a long time. And you know what happened whenever I put that video out? Everyone just said, "Isn't that every unit, Valk?" Yes, but not to the extent of Raiden Shogun. So that's why you're going to see my Raiden Shogun, and I explained this even in so many other videos. You're going to see my Raiden Shogun poop out insane amounts of damage, absolute insanity levels of damage, because I have really good artifacts. I've been farming the artifacts for like over a month now. I've been farming the artifacts like 2 months, and I do my refreshes. I'm waiting full Giga Whale to try to get good artifacts on her. So I have really good artifacts. I have multiple refinements on her weapon. I have constellations. Like, because of all of this, I'm really able to show what she can do with really high investment. So it's another situation. She's a character similar to Xiao, where Xiao's damage does not shine until you get him with good artifacts, a good weapon, multiple talent levels. Then the damage starts to shine. She's the exact same way because she needs a lot of numbers plugged into her that she just does not get until the later talent levels. It's why her C3 is so valuable, because then she gets 3 talent levels on her ult, and that increases her damage by a ton. Like, the 3 extra ult talent levels is so slept on as far as damage goes. It is insanely valuable. But I've been saying this. People are like, she's not very free-to-play friendly. She's not. But she's still a solid free-to-play unit. Like, she's still, if you invest in her with good artifacts, you get the R5 catch, you get all this stuff going forward, and you do all this stuff. I know the grind for the R5 catch sucks, but she's still going to be a very strong unit. So I think it's way too early for people to really be able, unless you're whaling, you can get the Constellation 3 to where you can get the 3 extra ult levels. It's way too early for you to be able to tell whether she's just bad or not as a free-to-play. You need to get the investment in. It's the same situation as Xiao. And as far as the argument that Electro is weak, I'm an Anemo and Fizz main, dude. I use Eula and Xiao more than everybody, and those are constantly said to be the 2 weakest elements. Do you know what they did with Raiden Shogun to make up for Electro being weak? The same thing they did with the other 2 units. They made their multipliers go through the roof. Raiden Shogun deals insane amounts of damage once you have proper artifacts and everything on it. She is incredibly hard to build. She is the hardest character to build in the game. Oh, a fishing spot. She's the hardest character to build in the game, without a shadow of a doubt from me. And I think a lot of people are underestimating the difficulty in which it is to build Raiden Shogun, because it's like sitting on a teeter-totter, and you're sitting there trying to juggle, you and your friend, but then, you know, you don't really know who's coming to the party and jumping on a teeter-totter. You could have the skinny kid, you could have the fat kid, you could have all sorts of stuff. And whatever it is going to mess up your balance. It's going to mess up the teeter-totter balance whenever you're trying to perfectly balance the teeter-totter. That's the juggle you're doing with Raiden Shogun's artifacts. And it's really, really, really rough. So, I understand that people don't see it yet, but the community's kind of split on this, because there are people that see how good she is, and there's people that aren't. Anyways, that's basically my take. I'm gonna give the TLDW here. Right here. Alright, you ready? Here's my final thoughts on the Zhongli Raiden Shogun situation. Right? Zhongli 2.0, I guess is the way to call this. She's fine. She is an absolute monster, and if you buff her, you are a very silly, goofy goober. I think she's a very, very, very strong unit. I don't think she needs a buff, but if you're going to give her a buff, then you better be ready to live with the. You better be ready to live with what's coming right after that. She is a very, very powerful unit. She centers around her ult. Other than that, she's just a support. And whenever she ults, everything dies. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I'm going to make more videos about Raiden Shogun in the future. I just want to get more investment on her. I'm also working on Aloy right now. So I got a bunch of different things going on before I can actually get back cracking to Raiden Shogun and look at a bunch of different things. But here's my plan right now. I want to have one of the strongest Raiden Shoguns in the game. And I'm going to be working towards that goal. So if you think she's weak, stay tuned. Anyways, thank you all for watching as always. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Let me know what you guys think about the whole Zhongli 2.0 situation, I guess, in the comment section below. Peace.